Right, welcome to Toffee TV. We're joined by Derek Malfield, Everton legend. I don't mind saying Everton legend because he is an Everton legend.
Cheers, boys. I will show you now for that one.
Hey. It's good to have one in the studio.
It is. It's great.
All I
do is I just look at him and it calms me. I just think happy at times.
We just talk about that.
Well, we will do a little bit on that.
It is the final word. Everton 2, Arsenal 5. Who'd have thought today? Everton getting beat.
In my mind, I just wanted you to say 1. Everton 2, Arsenal 1. I was thinking. I think you said 5. I'm doing a bit.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into it. It's not great, like, but let's cut.
Where do we start, boys?
Let's
Where
cut
do we
to some
start?
bits.
Come on.
Dave, what have you made of it? We haven't had you in this season. What have you made of it this season?
Disappointing. If you look at what we did over that summer when we started buying early in July, I think, oh, great. And then it sort of stalled and we chased Gilby Sigurdsson for 6 weeks and finally signed him for a rather extortionate amount of money in my book. And we knew there was one player we needed to replace and we haven't done it. But we all thought with what we've got in and the managers, we're gonna expect a little bit more than we've seen this year. I've been disappointed, to say the least. You know, we look like a team that, if I'm honest, no leadership, both on and off the field of play. There's a lack of passion, there's a lack of drive. They don't understand how they're meant to play, what they're meant to do. They make the simple things look difficult. And that's a simple pass at times. We just look like a team that's low on confidence, low on form, low on belief. Where that's going to change and how it's going to change, I don't know. But maybe it needs someone to come in and give them a bit of a roasting. Someone who's been there, seen it and done it. Come on, boys, what it's all about. Where's the pride? Where's the passion? You look at the fans. I went to the game and, you know, I'll be honest, I left after 18 minutes purely because I had to get back home, I had to drive home. But there was thousands outside the ground with 15 minutes to go. And to leave Goodison early, I don't normally do it. I like to stay there, but A, I had to go back, but B, it just looked non-existent. The passion, the performance, the desire, and you sit there and I always have the ears wide open, listen to the fans around me. And some of the comments I agree with, others are they get too passionate. But there's something seriously missing in that team at the moment, and it boils down to leadership. That's both off the field and on the field. Where is someone having a right go at somebody, ripping into them? You've let him run. Stay with your man. Do this. You can see the goal and just watch him and just goes and walks away. There's no, why do you make that pass? Why do you stay with your runner? Why do you do that? There's no one leading the team. You can't make leaders. You can't make anyone into a leader. But show a little bit of passion. You know, I'll go back 3 days to the Ashley Williams fight. Someone said to me, that was good passion. No, that was aggression. The game was off, it stopped. That was aggression. That was violence. You know, passion on making a good solid tackle. The crowd rise, the players around you rise. You don't see it anymore. There's something missing. I can't say, boom, that's the issue. Nobody can, but there's something not right in that camp for me at the moment.
I think one of the aspects I thought is that because there is so many new players, there's no sort of Everton ingrained at the club. You've got Jags and you've got Baines, but they've never been. Jags has been captain for donkeys, but he's never struck me as any kind of leader. And I worry that there aren't those players that can rise up because they're either too new to the club or are too worried about their own game. You know, you mentioned Ashley Williams. You look at Ashley Williams and you think, well, Ashley Williams, how can Ashley Williams have a go at anyone the way he's playing? Or you'll have a look at someone, or you'll see someone like Tom Davies, who probably, I bet you give him a few years, he'll be telling people, but he's not at any stage in his career. And I just worry there aren't those players that over the years, because even if you go back 2, 3, 4 years ago, if Leon Osman was having a go at someone, I think he would have the right to have a go at someone because he's Everton, he's come through Everton, and I just worry we don't have those people at the club.
You can't make them. You can't make it. That's the problem. You could be at a club for 10 years or 3 years or 6 months. People lead in their own little way. People lead by example. People lead by the performances. But you need a bit of vocality sometimes on the field. You need someone to be shouting all the time. Even just saying, Ped, you stupid, useless, you look at me, you know what I am. You don't see that communication. Talking is not just shouting, it's communication along the back line. to your midfield players, where do you want them to be? And that, the more it happens, the more it develops, the more you get, and it just comes natural. But there's nothing there at the moment. And I look at Wagner, I look at Klopp, I look at Coutinho, Conte, sorry, and they're up and down the pitch doing this. Sometimes that's too much passion. But I don't want to see a man just sitting there just going like that. I want to see something more from the sidelines. You know, I want to see more from. There's number 2. Come up and shout. But it's happened for the last 3 or 4 years at Everton. Well, sorry, probably the last 10 years at Everton. David Moyes did the same. Martinez did the same. Koeman's now did. The number 2s are the number 2s for a reason, and they want to be the number 1. And they all 3 have just stood there doing this. Sometimes they'll turn and go, "Yeah, you're right," and they'll come back. But the Klopp passion is over the top at times, but it's a bit of passion, and that passion rubs off onto other people. But when much as we talk about this, you're never going to make Jags into a screamer and shouter. Never going to make Baines into a screaming shouter. I thought Ashley Williams was going to be that as he led Wales in the Euros last year, but he's disappeared into his own shot. He's having an awful time at the moment. He looks shot, devoid of confidence. He looks slower than I've ever seen anybody looks. He had a bit of pace. It just seemed to have gone off him. But how do you make leaders? I don't know. Do you encourage people to just talk and shout on the pitch? You know, you hear it from the sidelines. We see things on the sidelines, and we're shouting "man on." We should hear that coming from the field of play. It's as if the players get too ingrained in their own little world. It's my job. I've got to do this and do that, and that's me done. But when you do that, what you do next? You know, once you get the ball and pass it to Baz, what do I just go? Done my job now? No, you've not. You can make another angle with somebody else, and that's what I don't see enough of. And that's what all football players should have in the locker anyway. The ability to control, pass and move and find a bit of space. But we look devoid of ideas. We look like we don't want the ball at times, and that's just confidence.
I don't necessarily think you need to be at a club to have Everton ingrained in you, because it's like I'd go into a team when I was playing. If I've never played with you before and you're not doing your job, I'll tell you whether you think who's this dickhead that's turning up shouting. I don't care, because I'll make you wear. If you're my strike partner and you're not running when you should be, I'll fucking tell you. And I'd have no issue with. I've got like Pickford. Pickford's been here 3 months, and he's there and he's throwing and he's in people's faces. The back foot. I love that. That's what I want to see, because Stekelenburg doesn't want a hair out of place.
No.
Joel, bless him, is a decent keeper, but he's not he screams and shouts when they're away from him, but I don't see him grabbing people.
He whistles more than he goes. Joe whistles. You know, hear the whistler a mile away.
You know, and Howard wasn't like that anyway. He was doing his own thing.
It is very hard to do that. We were talking off air about an incident at Carlisle. I was there at Carlisle at 32, the old man of the back four. A lad called Paul Conway, an American lad, let his player run through, and I've took over and give the corner away, and I've absolutely hammered him. Don't you let your player run, stay with your runner, you stick. And he walks over and headbutts me on the goal line, and have the crowd go whoa, and I've just gone, I've seen the red mist, but the keeper's grabbed me, and I'm there going, let me at him, I want to fucking kill him. Right, manager takes him off. We end up winning the game. The whistle goes full time. I don't shake a single hand. I'm straight down that tunnel. And boot, where is he? And he'd gone home. Following night, little conversation, little email, a voicemail on the phone. Sorry, Derek. Following day, made up. And I said, look, if you do your job properly, I'm not going to bollock you. But when I bollock you, accept it and say, sorry, I won't do it again. But don't react like you did. If you do it next time, I will knock your head off. You know, and that's a bit of passion. Was I shown too much passion? Was he shot? I don't know, but it's not that it wasn't the response I expected, but I got a response. I don't see a response at our place now.
No.
We get a goal, and I said before, we walk away. Stay with your runner. Do this, do that, do the other, and it can start from the sidelines. It's got to start coming onto the pitch. It's got to start coming from the sidelines onto the pitch, or he's got to train his training. He's got to change the training method, so we're doing a bit more aggressive type of football.
Do you think? Because I was just thinking about this over the weekend, and I was watching his reaction yesterday when we conceded the goal. Because he was such a good player, because he was probably one of the best centre backs that's played in terms of ball playing. Do you think it's one of them? Glenn Hoddle kind of had the same thing, where he was such a good player that he was disappointed in players who couldn't. I think someone said Roy Keane has the same thing. And do you think Ronald Koeman kind of has that, where he just expects them to be able to do it, so there's not that work you're talking about, where you're going, we do shape. You were saying off air about Graham Taylor having you in shape, and I'm sure Colin Harvey and Howard Kendall went in at us in shape. I think Koeman almost just thinks, you're a good player, just go and do it, and it'll all fall into place.
I understand that, yeah, you are right there. But the way the modern day football's being cultured, the footballer and the football, you expect the player to do that.
Yeah.
And maybe he does expect a little bit too much, but what's wrong with going back to what we call basics? Make sure they control the ball, pass the ball. As a centre half, Howard said to me, when you get it, son, edit. If you get it down, give it to people that can do the ball with it. I could play football.
Yeah.
I could bring the ball out, but if I got it, Trevor Stephen, Kevin Sheedy, Peter Reid, they did the work then. But
my heart
but what is a centre half's job now? They can bring it down, they can stop it, they can go left, they go right, they can do grab back, step overs. But my job was get it and give it. Get it and give it simple. Give it to people. But footballers now, centre backs are footballers. I was a defender.
Yeah.
My job was to stop that ball going in my net.
I like my defenders to do that,
and that's it. So when I got the ball, I didn't try and be clever. I didn't get caught in the ball like we have done the back before in the past, and the ball can out the keeper. I was told, get up there, he's going to kick it.
Yeah.
No, I don't want the ball, but the new modern day football culture, the centre backs have to be footballers. John Stone's prime example, great footballer, not a great defender. He's now learning the art of defending more and more, but he's got players around him who do a similar job as him. But first and foremost, your job is to defend, and that is what we're not doing well at the moment. We're not defending. It's too easy now to score against Everton.
You mentioned that, and you mentioned it before about playing next to the same people. I mean, you can reel that 85 team off. Obviously, it's something we've spoke about in previous weeks. We sat down a couple of weeks ago and we watched the 85 season, and we were obviously miserable, so we thought we'll sit down, and it was great. But what we watched was a team that knew each other's roles in and out. There was continuity all the way through the side. There was the subs would come on and do their jobs. And the biggest problem for me, I think, at the club at the moment is the fact that every game there's something different. Michael Keane has either got a new right back or a new centre back partner every game. There was a change of formation on Sunday. You've gone from playing 4-3-3 or whatever it was on Thursday night to playing 3-5 something, and was it 3 or was it 5 at the back? But I mean, if that's a headache for me and I'm just sitting there watching it, I think, well, what's that doing to a player who has only got 3 days between a game? One of those days is going to be rest and recovery. One of those days is going to be a bit of shape work, and then one of those days is going to be a bit of light training. I mean, that to me, that baffles me. And you're talking about the basics of the game. Surely going back to the basics would be, right, lads, we're going to set up in this formation. We're going to play 8 or 9 players every week while we're in this situation, and we're gonna work our way through it.
Yeah, I can see it. We can see it, but we don't see it on the pitch. The basics are the easy things. It's what we should all know what to do from toddler growing upwards. Can you stop the ball? Can you pass the ball? Can you receive the ball? Can you head the ball? But when it goes into this level, because the movement now around when I played, the movement wasn't great. It was a bit laboured at times because the pitches were different. The pitches were heavy, the balls were heavy, the boots,
players were heavier.
Yeah, and the boots. Look at the boots and the balls, but everything about the game now is about fast, sharp, quick. I won't say simple football. Some of the best teams make it look simple. We don't. But the basics, what we need to get back to. And if I was the manager, I would say, right, boys, we're in. I'm going to play the reserve. I'm going to play the kids on Tuesday, on Wednesday up Chelsea. I'll take the 23s down there. We're staying here and we're going to work morning and night for 3 days, 2 or 3 sessions a day. It won't be run. We might be walking through things. When we're here, walking through, what you do, you go there. What do you two do then? Yeah, you took a bit here. You do. You don't have to be running around in a training. You can be walking through things. It's getting players back to basics, and once you get the basics right, if the progression can go from there. But the basics are, for me, can we pick up our runners? Can we head the ball? Can we pass the ball better? Can we make a quicker decision? You see it comes down, and this decision making is too slow. There's times I'm going, there's the pass, but they take the extra touch because they're not allowed to go long after 2 passes. It's got to be 4 passes before they go long or something. But you see it somewhere, you go, there's the pass, and they take it and they come back inside you.
It's gone now.
And the keeper gets sometimes, you throw it to Jags onto his weaker side, which is his left side, and it runs off him. You know, if you're going to play a right foot play at left back, left side, be careful when you throw, make the pass a bit better to him. It's just simple decisions, Ped. Yeah. We can spend all day talking about how easy it is to play football, but is football a game sport by coaches and tactics? It is for me. Yeah. The coaches make it difficult. The tactics, we'd understand them from the sidelines, and I played the game, and I'm looking and going, is that a 3? Is that a 5? Why have we got 2 older midfield players? Yeah. And we can see it from the sidelines at times, and sometimes the managers, because they're set in their little way, they don't see the problems and the negativity that's coming. But the negativity from our fans now is dramatic. You know, you go there and we expect now not to score, we expect to get beat, and that's a horrible way to go to a football match. We should expect to see better, and we should demand to see better, and that starts with whether it's the top coming all the way down, but everyone now has got to have a good hard look at themselves and say, something's not right here, how do we get it right? And if it means bringing a manager in, sitting down and saying, go on, explain to me what's your plan for the next 6 weeks? Show me your next plan. And he'll go, this is this, and you say, well, we need better than that. You know, but it's got to start from there. It filters down, because at the bottom level the players aren't doing it, and underneath that it's you lot, us fans who go week in week out, home and away, who are watching what I think at the moment is the worst football I've seen for a long at Everton Football Club, and I can't at the moment see a way of getting out of that difficult situation.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was supposed to think with the fans. I mean, the sad thing for me is there's an acceptance at the moment.
That's what I said.
It wasn't. I don't feel like there's a toxic atmosphere or anything like that around the. I mean, when you enter some of the Martinez games, it was a real horrible, toxic. But I don't even feel that.
Well, I went to the Burnley game, and after the game there was huge boos and jeers. But yesterday at the Arsenal game, it was an expectation that we're going to get beat. So there was no boos and jeers. It was, we've lost it. We knew it before we started the game. To go 1-up, it was like great. And I thought for 25 minutes, half an hour, we looked okay. Yeah, we were getting opened a bit because their movement is fantastic off the ball. They're his soup. They are one of the best teams for moving around off the ball. But I thought we looked okay. All credit to the keeper. He's done wonderful this season. He's been so far our player this season by distance. But I thought, look. But then they equalised, and I just saw everyone just go, oh no. Yeah. The heads dropped. Yeah. The heads dropped, and that's not the response you want to see. You want to say, you do this and do that. And even if it's at half time, you know, we had a couple of uproars in our changing rooms during the 80s, and you know, Milk Cup final replay at Wembley when Souness scored 1-0 down. We came in and we were at each other. Stay where you are. And I was just gone. Yeah. We're going. We've done the team up for him. But I bet now the players go in and sit there. They get the Lucas head and they sit there and go. Yeah. No one goes, come on you, we've got to be better. Just show a bit of passion. Yeah. It might rub off on everyone else around you, but I bet that's how the change is at half time. I bet it's all heads down, it's quiet. Yeah, we had a right ding dong more than.
But that goes back to leaders though, doesn't it? Yeah. That goes back to expecting the person next year to be doing something. And I that goes back to me is there's no continuity. There's no.
It doesn't help not having the same team, but if you got the shirt, I'm sure you don't want to give it up.
But does that matter though anymore? Because let's be honest,
it's a squad game now, Ped.
But it shouldn't be a squad game, should it? Really?
We had a squad of 13.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We were
the other two were Harper and Richardson, who were superb. But now the squad is 25. Yeah. But if I got the shirt, I want to stay in that team. I'm staying here, and I'll do my utmost. But it's an acceptance.
But you look at I look at someone like Tom Davies, and I think Tom Davies should be playing every week. He's not brilliant every week. He wasn't brilliant yesterday when he came on. He gives the ball away too much. But I think he should be playing because what he gives you is what I don't think other players give you. But then he plays well. He's out the team. You see Lookman come on the other night. He's got a little 20-minute cameo. I thought he was great. Is he anywhere near the team? No. Even Morales some days he played well, and you think, well, where was he? Where was he this week? Yeah, Vlasic, he's playing well. He's a player he's bought. He's in the team. That's fine. I just think the players. If you're saying to me, well, I play well, but I'm not playing because my face doesn't fit, then I think that creates a negative attitude, negative atmosphere as well.
I've said this all along. It's about simplifying everything, and it's about you go in as a manager. If I went through as a manager, I'd say, listen, this is how it works. There's the 11, and if every one of you plays well, that's the 11 next week. Until there's a drop off, or if you get in, you're not playing, and you get in, you're keeping that shirt until you drop off, and everyone knows where they stand.
That's how it was. It's not that way now, though. No. Unfortunately, the manager will come on a Monday morning, and the fitness bloke says, "I'm sorry, Baz can't play today because his stats say he's tired." Tired. Come on, get on with it. You know, get through your tiredness. Have an extra bit of food or something. We played Saturday midweek, Saturday virtually every week of the season. For 38, 39 weeks, plus sometimes I played 2 games in 2 days over the Christmas. Promise you, we were tired, but we never told you we were tired. We got on with it
to the play.
Because if you keep telling someone they're tired, you're tired, you're going to believe it. You're going to start going, I feel knackered. Get on with it. And we never had the Lucasades, the energy foods. We had fish and chips, steak and chips, and a couple of pints of lager on a Friday night. But we played football. But this is where people, I think, have got to really understand. Football for me has changed massively in the last 20 years. It's gone from being just lads we were fit. These lads are probably fitter than us in a fitness sense, but not in a football fitness sense. Because we were playing week after we were match fit week after week. Now they're not. They're fit, but they're not match fit. As I'm saying.
The thing is, though, it's comparable, isn't it? Because you were as fit as the team you were playing against, and we now are only as fit as the team we're playing. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like, well, it's all the same. You're all playing on the same levels. As you said, you played on a pitch where you're going to have to,
it saps,
sap the energy out of you. Whereas now they're playing on night, and as you said, everything's. And now the shin pads now weigh nothing. They're like little tiny specks of thing. You put on the boots weigh absolutely nothing. Everything is catered for them to the absolute. As you said, no one tells you now you're tired. You don't tell someone you're tired. Someone comes in and tells you you're tired now. That's the way football works. Everything is set up for them.
When you said we're as fit as a team we play against, if Wagner from Huddersfield came in and took our team over now, we couldn't play at the same tempo that Huddersfield do. Because his training sessions are geared to playing at that tempo week after week, which is a fantastic tempo they play at.
But what I mean is that,
so we couldn't do the same. So our players aren't as fit as Huddersfield because their tempo in training is different to ours, and that's because he understands the players he has. He's got to work hard and grab. But the players we have, we should expect more, and that's the difference. He knows what his players can do, and they're playing up there now. But our players, who we think should be up there, are down here.
But what I mean is, though, Huddersfield don't have a secret training lab where they should, they've all got
that stuff. They wear these vests every day in training, monitors them. There's probably chips in the shoes and all sorts, and but Wagner knows that he has to get his team disciplined, working hard. And you look at that back four. Would any of that back four at Huddersfield make it in Everton's first team? No.
Well, same with Burnley.
But what do they do every week? What do they do every week? They wear their cotton socks off. They know the roles. They know when you're pushing on it right back, I'm coming over a bit. When it goes up, they all tuck in a bit. They work hard for each other. They put line on the.
Is that an arrogance then from the manager, thinking that he doesn't have to put his players through those? He doesn't have to have, sessions where it's all about shape, where it's all about the back four working, staying together. I mean, I seen a picture yesterday. It was one of the goals where I think there was 3 of our players, and Michael Keane was 5 or 6 yards behind them, and that allowed obviously the winger to get in and pull it back. Things like that. You watch football and you watch how regimented players are, and you think, how does that happen? How have they got that?
But if you look at some of the teams that like the Watfords, the Huddersfields, the Burnleys, their back line, you always see the 4 players. They're always in that shot. They're always close. But as I said, we're looking. There's one over there. There's one down. There's one up here. Which goal was that? Jags is running back for their third goal. He's running back into the shot as Lacazette's in space in the box on his own. But if that would have Burnley, there'd have been 4 players in that shot. The 2 centre backs, the right now, they'd been in the shot because they know how they're going to play the game. But at the moment, it looks like we don't understand how we're meant to be playing the game. We look lost. The players look lost on the field. We said it before, they look lost. But you go back to the Burnleys, the Huddersfields, they're disciplined, they know the shape, and I guarantee you that Sean Dyche and David Wagner go through that in training. Methodically go through it. I said, don't have to run through it, you can walk your way through it. Maybe we need to go back to that sort of stuff. go back to basics. I'd love to say, right then, go to game. Tell you what, we're not going to concede. If you concede one, we're going to score 3. Those days have long gone. We know we're going to concede. We know we can't score 3. So we've got to go back to trying to keep it as clean as we can, because we know as soon as we concede a goal, we've lost the game. We're not going to come back to it. The heads go down. So we need to get back to basics. So get back to working a flat back 4 or 5, wherever it is, and get them understanding their shape and their roles, which is what you don't see at the moment for me.
I read the
You read?
Read, yeah.
Charlie, I'm
well read. I've read Cale's book, and I've read Leon Osman's couple of chapters about David Moyes, and I'm not advocating David Moyes coming back, but that's what they said. Osman said, and Cale, if they'd have conceded the stupid goal on Monday, he said we knew we'd have 2 hours doing the same walk through, then a pace, then walking it again, then a pace, until we had it. And he said Sunday we'd be bored as players. He said Sundays, but I tell you what, we wouldn't concede that goal again. That goal wouldn't happen.
It's happened to me at Wolves, at Walsall, at Villa, at Carlisle. You know, it happens. The basics are so important to do, and I just think our training session. I think it happened a bit under Martinez, that you see the tempo of the football, and it's a bit easy and a bit slow. That emphasises what you do on the training field. If the tempo's slow on the training field, you take it onto the match. Huddersfield's tempo in training is
smash.
You see it on the pitch. Our tempo might have to increase in our training session so we can take it onto the field of play. It's not rocket science.
No.
It's not rocket science. The football is played at a tempo that the manager sets, and it starts by the training field. And I don't think our training is anywhere near the right tempo, the right intensity to take onto the field on Saturday.
I think Spurs, they've said their training's the same as the matches, so sometimes they'll get a couple of interviews because people are snapping in. But it was like the Ancelotti stuff at Bayern Munich. You know, Bayern Munich players criticising Ancelotti, there's better training at the under-9s and all that, but he was probably the same. He probably just thought, these are great players, and on a Saturday it'll all click.
The greatest players don't make the best teams without the right leadership.
Well, that's it.
And leadership is where it's we're coming back to that word leadership again. We're coming back to it again. The manager sets up, and the leadership starts from there on the field up for the. And I just think our tempo has dropped dramatically. It's dramatically dropped in the last 6 to 8 months, and you can see it. It stands out like a beacon of light. So let's get the tempo right in training. Get the players. Why don't? If we can see it, surely the Bainsies, the Aussies, all those players, and Jags. So as the players get together and say, Gaffer, we need to work harder. We can see we're not doing. Let's go back to basics. But the players are frightened to tell the manager, because the manager says, you criticise me, right? Go and play the 23s, off you go.
And then we know that happens.
You know, and that's.
I think playing for the 23s would be a bonus. For some of them,
it will be.
I think half of them should be.
The example of 23s is he came in, he made this stance on Umar Niasse. All credit to Niasse, he's gone away and he's knuckled down. I bet he's learnt more in 12 months with David Unsworth, playing every week and training, than he has when he's been in the first team squad at Everton. Because all credit to the boy, he was treated like a total outcast, but took his head down, went away to Hull, came back, worked hard. And now he's got a chance. We all know he's very limited, but as we said before, the second goal we got yesterday, we wouldn't have got that if it had been a Calvert-Lewin or someone else, because he's just got no idea of what to do. Sometimes he puts it, I've got the ball back of the net to goal, but we'd have lost that game 5-1 rather than 5-2, because no one would have been played, because he's always looking to go forward. Niasse, he's always look on the front foot.
Hang on. I think Cuban's been sacked.
Cuban's just been sacked.
Get in there. Right. Fucking hell.
Sorry to interrupt.
No. He's gone, lads. He's gone.
Yeah, happy then.
He's gone. We're gonna have to change the whole show. He's gone. You gotta look at me when you say it. He's gone. Right, he's been sacked. So we're going to carry on regardless.
Where were we?
I don't know.
No pressing, no tempo. See, we've been saying
No, he's gone, but we're not going to discuss that. We'll do that on another video.
And then another one later on.
And then another one. So yeah, I don't even know it.
I think, listen, he's gone. And what we'll do is we'll have to address it, because we've got to, but we'll just address it within the game and the reasons why. So we're talking, I can't even remember now because it's blown our minds, but when you look at the likes, me and you've just been speaking there, Dex, about, again, the team that you played in, and the, you know, pressing, as it in them days it was like you say, close down quickly, go and chase the ball. There's none of this in the Everton side. In fact, we did see it. We seen what it was supposed to be with Everton's goal. Arsenal have got the ball, we get men round
both goals?
Yeah, but the first goal, we get men round the ball, Garner goes and wins the tackle, Wayne gets it out of his feet and it's a worldie into the top corner. They didn't like that. They didn't like us pressing. They didn't like us.
Pressing. Look at Guardiola at Man City. They have so many seconds in training to get the ball back.
Yeah.
And you see it on the field of play. They lose the ball, they want it back.
Yeah.
You know, it's ours. Give it back here. We don't. So we give it away and we just amble around. You know, the pressing game. You know, we were talking before off air about the new European UEFA technology. Play a high pressing game so you close down.
Yeah.
We're going to have to recycle the ball better. You're going to change it from right to left or left to right. It's the terminology is so confusing now. Football is a simple game.
Yeah.
It's passing the ball between yourselves and the same players and put the back of the net and stop it in your own. I think it's complicated too much, and we've seen it over the last 8 weeks how complicated our managers made the game. You know, changing the formation, changing the bodies, changing the personnel, changing this, changing that. There's been no routine to it. In the 80s, we had the same back four, virtually the same team for 80%, 90% of the games. We had our two super subs in Alan Harper and Kevin Richardson who came in and did the job for us. Nowadays, you can leave a player out because they're a little bit tired or they're not feeling right. And it's a squad game now, but sometimes you just need a nucleus of players who work for each other. Our players at the moment aren't working for each other. They weren't working for the manager. You could see that clearly yesterday afternoon. It's the first time I really noticed it when I just saw it just disappear. All of a sudden now, it's gone. He's gone. We have to now make sure we do the right thing. Don't make a quick, spare the moment decision. We've got to be a bit patient. Whoever we got in has to come before January so we can use that window to hopefully invest.
Can I just ask you, just back to the game with the goals, because again, Ped actually said we should have had the camera rolling when me and Dexy were talking about the goals yesterday, because it would have made this bit a bit easier. But you were talking through the goals and just some interesting points. We'd noticed it anyway in the rewatch, but talk us through particularly the second and the third goal, which were obviously the killer goals. That you were talking about John Joe Kenny could have got a bit tighter as Sanchez has the ball, and then obviously the transitions after that. But no, I mean, what
you just got as you wait for manual at that transition. That one. But you look at the second goal, we lose the ball again. Probably I can't remember exactly the build up. I think we lost it pretty cheaply.
Well, we had the shot. We give the ball.
Then John Joe Kenny, that's the third goal that Vashes lose the ball.
No, then they had a shot for the second as well.
Second one, John Joe Kenny drops about 4 or 5 yards deeper than the centre backs. You never want your full back behind you. When we played, I was always told keep your full back in front of you.
Yeah, it should be.
Full back should never be the last man. But then when the ball comes to Sanchez, his first reaction is like a lot of defence. You go backwards. But then as Garner comes alongside him, he should say, go and close him. But they both stand about 4 yards.
One should go out too.
One should go and close him. Yeah. His strength is his right foot. So why are you trying to show him on his right foot? Get him down the line. But as soon as Garner, close him down, see him off. 2 players there should allow the cross in. The cross comes in very easily, and then if you look at it, Jag's got a bit of stick for not picking up the runner. But Tom Davies has let him go.
Well, there's 2 midfield runners.
He's just stopped. He's stopped and also has run past. Then Jags has got Ozil and then Ramsey behind him.
Yeah.
You know, so it's people doing their jobs individually. And again, the third goal when Vlasic tries to clip it round the corner,
without looking,
he gets back into position really well.
Yeah.
But then instead of staying with the wide man, he closes the ball down. And the ball goes out there, and then the ball comes to the middle, and the Michael Keane stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do a close the line off, or do a what? But he never once looked to see where Lacazette was.
Yeah.
He never once knew where Lacazette was. So he either goes and closes the line off, but surely the keeper can come and do that.
Yeah.
So where's Lacazette? Right, I can stop here, but he never once saw what was behind him. I probably did the same when I played, but at the moment it's not analysed like it is nowadays.
Yeah.
You can have there's 20 odd cameras every game now at matches.
Yeah.
So when I had there was one. You know, look, it was only one. I'd have been in deep trouble if there wasn't more than one. But
you'd score a goal.
But we analyse things a lot more now.
Yeah.
But it's again, I said before, it's the basic stuff. Where's the man? who's going to cause us the most danger? If it's you, I'm going to mark you. I'm not going to go, I'll let him go through. And you see it too often. We let people run too often. But goals, 99% of goals will always start with some form of mistake along the line.
Yeah.
And it's how you recover from that mistake.
Yeah.
Man City, as I said before, they lose the ball, they want it back.
Yeah.
They close quickly.
Yeah.
Well, how often does he just close quick when we lose the ball? But that comes from the manager. Guardiola's got that mentality in City now where they're quick all the time. We're a little bit too slow. But as I said, now the manager's gone, a new manager, whoever comes in, the biggest thing we've got to do is get 3 things. That's a bit of passion, a bit of belief and leadership, but a high, far better tempo for me.
Because you said with the goal, I mean, the goal we scored, great goal by Rooney, but it was pressing, wasn't it? Pressing high up the pitch as well. Like you were from City, it's where you press as well, because if you press high up the pitch, especially if you press defenders who don't want the ball, then you've got a better opportunity getting the ball off them.
Tottenham do the same. It's not worth you as a striker pressing and the midfield just staying on the halfway line. As you press, you have to go together. It's a 1, 2, 3. Not a 1 and you go, you know, but you see it too often. One player goes and no one's backing him up.
You watch that first goal again, Dominic Calvert-Lewin presses, then Rooney's pressing and Vlasic is pressing, and the guy eventually wins the ball, because every pass they make is in panic, because it's not
if the ball had gone to a Calvert-Lewin or Vlasic, we wouldn't have scored the goal.
No.
It went to Rooney and the calmness, you just saw the calmness, a touch, dispatched it.
But again with the goal, because he's got Vlasic on one side, and that just takes...
Vlasic makes the run.
Yeah, all it takes to make a movement and the space opens up.
Yeah.
But as I said, where Tom Davies let Ozil run for the second goal, someone went with Vlasic, which opens the space for Rooney.
Yeah.
You know, it's
the other thing, Dex, about Rooney, because some people give him stuff. I've seen things which I personally, my opinion, I find ridiculous. He shouldn't be in our team. He's the reason we're not playing well. There's the lad that's got 5 goals, by the way. The thing with Wayne Rooney is, as shown in that one with Vlasic, if people make runs for him, he will make things happen. He's not going to pick it up and sprint with it. No. Them days are gone, so you need to forget that. But his ability and his powers are with the ball at his feet. And if you get people to move in front of him and move around, he will come into his own. You know, and too often lately, like you said before, he'll get it and he can't get his head up. Yeah. And no one's making any... It's the same argument with Barkley. Now, sometimes Ross he's not at Rooney's level in terms of picking passes, but Ross would get his head up and go, and everyone, even Ron, would just be stood still. And then do we give it, and I'll take another touch and another touch. I watched Arsenal yesterday, off. Move.
Every Arsenal player knew where the ball was going to. They were always ready to receive the ball and knew where it could go quickly if it needed to.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between what we haven't got and what Arsenal had. They moved it. They knew where the ball was going. They knew that I could give it to you and you could give it there. But we get it and we go, stop. Oh, where are we going now?
Yeah.
It's got to be quicker.
Everything's forced, isn't it?
Wenger's had tons and tons of stick off people, but they've got one of the best counter-attacking teams in the game. You know, they've got pace going forward. They play so quickly around each other and around bodies that it's always going to be hard, but it could have been 10 or 12 yesterday. I thought Pickford was outstanding. Yeah. He was outstanding yesterday. He saved us, but could have done better for the equaliser. Could he have got hold of it instead of trying to punch it out? You know, there's little things like that will be analysed, or would have been analysed by the sports scientists.
He's the kind of kid who will self-analyse though, which is more.
But he's showing something. There was a challenge on. He kicked the ball out. There was a challenge on Calvert-Lewin just further on the Arsenal dugout second half, and he had to go at the referee when he came back up. Yeah. Where was the Jags and the Keanes and the Sigurdsson after? He shouldn't. He's one of the youngest ones in the team. Yet he's the one that's trying to lead at the moment. He's the only one I can see that's shown anything like any ounce of form that he brought into Everton. I think I was concerned about his height, but I think he's been outstanding.
He's used to playing in a relegation battle.
He used to making lots of saves, and
he was outstanding.
He was brilliant yesterday. He really was.
No, it's his attitude as well. You're right. He leads where others just sulk. The one you're talking about was there was an elbow on Baines in the first.
In the second half when we broke,
there was an elbow.
Clear elbow.
That made what it was. It was over that far side. I was in the lower Bullens yesterday. It was in by the family.
Baines didn't make a big thing about it. He didn't dive. He didn't actually make a big thing about it, which is. It annoys me more than anything because you've got the other fella running around in the ref's ear all game. He'd run out and had a go at him, and that's where. But that's leadership again. That's where other players are going. What's going on here? Because it was a clear foul. It's just that Baines didn't go down.
All credit, the referee I think wasn't particularly great yesterday. He gave an awful lot to them. Didn't go through the few things that I thought, well, what are you doing there? But referees give what they give when they see it. They give what they think is the right decision. But he made a few mistakes yesterday, which helped Arsenal. Didn't help us. He should have booked Sanchez when he ran towards him. After that challenge, that's a blatant show of disrespect, dissent to the referee. He's got to book him. But where every time there's a free kick, Sanchez just stood there, and you all screamed. But once the ball wasn't there, once the ball's in play, he has to move. He can stand where he wants till the ball's put on the floor and the referee says move away. But he did it right, but you should have booked him in the first place for that initial run up to him.
Well, the one
was booted the ball away 3 times.
The one on Ashley, the challenge Ashley Williams got booked for, he never actually touched him. No. Didn't touch him, but he's there in his ear straight away, having a go at him.
That's all it takes. Is one. When are we doing that to referees?
Well, Rooney was, but unfortunately in the last...
Rooney's got to be careful, because Rooney is a target. Rooney will get booked quicker than Sanchez will by referees because of his reputation. And I bet Sanchez swears the referee in Spanish or something rather than swears in English, so he understands it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't know. We've all been
thrown,
haven't we? I just think we've all been thrown.
Well, let's go back. Right, we've got a game on Wednesday. Forget the Carabao Cup. If we go out now, I'm not bothered.
Okay.
Sunday, I want to see a better performance because the league points are far important. You can't get 3 league points on Wednesday at Carabao Cup. You can get 3 points on Sunday at Leicester. We have to go to Leicester and we have to be prepared to graft and graft and graft because we've got players in that team. I think they can do the job. They've been a bit misguided, a bit misled over the last, say, 3 months. Whoever comes in has to get that group understanding what they need to do by being disciplined but being organised. And I expect over the next couple of weeks, it's Carabao Cup, which is irrelevant for me. You can't win any league points. I want the league points at the moment. I want to Sheffield win a trophy, obviously. It's a great chance to get there. But Carabao Cup, league on Wednesday, European side the following week, and then we're back into consistent league football. Let's see a pick-up in belief, positivity, because what goes on the pitch will come back to you in the terraces. At the moment, there's nothing coming back. And you're as frustrated as probably they are at times, but you're more frustrated because you want to see better. I just want to see now whoever comes in, short term, stabilise it, get us going again. Long term, bring the right bodies in, get the right formation, get the right shape. If it means you get rid of Schneidlin, Sigurdsson, whoever they don't like, you get rid of them and you bring bodies in for you. So, for example, if Sean Dice comes in, you might not see Ashley Williams play again. You might not see Jagielka. Might be another young centre-half come in. You might not see Sigurdsson play. You might not see Schneidlin play. Every manager has their own idea, and we're going to have to accept now over the next 4 to 5 months, you won't like what you see sometimes on the field of play because the manager now is setting the team up the way he wants it to do. And I think there will be a big change. But as I said before, this is the biggest decision we'll make now for many years because we're going to go, fingers crossed, everything else to our new stadium in the next 5 to 6 years. Fingers crossed. That's a big decision. But the manager now, because we come out the Premiership, it's a tough league to get back into. That Championship League is a really, really tough league.
Some of those players you've just mentioned, though, could actually could benefit from. I mean, I know that it's signings, but the likes of Sigurdsson and the likes of Schneidlin, they haven't been turning up,
But you look at the way Sigurdsson played for Swansea. Because they were organised, he had a bit of freedom. It might work because of Sigurdsson coming in. You don't know. They were just names I threw out there. You don't know. But you don't be surprised if the new manager comes in and we lose 6 players that you go, what? It happened to me at Aston Villa. I'd just taken Villa to second in the league. 1 year with Joseph Englosh. Big Ron comes in. He went, you've gone. He didn't keep us, he got rid of us. He brought all his own bodies in. The new manager will do exactly the same at Everton now. He'll bring in people, you'll go, who? And you let people go and you'll go, why? We've got to accept it. It's going to be a difficult 6 months for us now. But importantly now, we have to get ourselves back onto the right tracks. And that's by being disciplined, organised, good solid hard work and getting some victories.
Because we've been, just very quickly, we're poor defensively at the moment.
Poor defensively.
We're ragged.
Yeah.
But we both said off air and in the conversations we have, we can see the goal. It's like the end of the... Instead of going, yesterday when it went 1-1, we should have gone, get to half time. Back out, 1-1. It's 1-1 with 45 minutes to go.
He makes that change at half time, which surprised me.
Did it?
I know we looked a bit open at times, but we weren't doing too bad.
Okay,
we weren't doing too bad. Going back to the 4, we just lost all our discipline and shape a little bit, I thought. But discipline, shape, organisation, teamwork, leadership. It's going to come wherever it comes. It's got to come in.
Yeah.
All I just hope now is that the board and Vara Bashir and they all make the right decision. It's a collective decision, and they don't jump in too quickly. I would honestly say that Unsworth and Royal will probably come in on a temporary basis, and I'd say temporary basis, 3 or 4 weeks tops.
Yeah.
While the new manager comes in, and then we've got to be prepared for some, not unhappy, but some startling times for the next 6 or 7 weeks after that, while the manager comes in, sets his setup, and then decides who he wants, who he doesn't want. But we've got to go away from where we are at the moment, because we shouldn't be where we are, what we've got, and that squad is too good where it is, but no squad is too good to go down.
No.
And we're in a situation where there's a lot of worry blues at the moment, and I want to see us going that way, not looking over our shoulder all the time.
Let's leave it there, because I don't know what else to talk about. We're all over the place, aren't we? There. Let us know your thoughts in the comments on the game, but more importantly on the sacking of Ronald Koeman. Big thanks to Deggs again for coming in and sharing all his knowledge with us, and some of his golf tips as well, and all the rest of it, and sharing all his holiday destinations and all these things. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. We'll see you later.